Have you ever thought, why do I suck at fantasy football? Welcome. This is the Commissioner Fantasy Football Podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Commissioner Fantasy Football Podcast with Eric. I'm your host, bringing you week 10. A lot of injury updates that have come up and hopefully some advice to you if you guys don't get alerts for fantasy. Make that a priority. If you're on a sleeper app, you get alerts. Like Twitter. So Twitter alerts and sleeper app alerts, I'm pretty much in sync. I get them simultaneously. Everything else is kind of delayed. So hopefully you're not in a league where you can, go and pick up players off the waivers anytime. At least maybe you have some time. But like in our leagues, we have time to do that. So our waivers go through at 11 p.m. every night, except on Thursdays and Sundays. They're free agents because of the games. So there's Kamara is out, Chubb is out. There's a lot of still working pieces with other running backs for the Patriots with Damian Harris and Stevenson. So there's, I want to think some more. I think Tannehill came up on the injury report. We have last minute decision with Kyler Murray. A lot of basically implications for fantasy. So not a good sign. Never great, but this is week 10. This is the NFL. This is where things get really, really tough. These guys have been playing for some of them 9 straight weeks. Some of them have been playing for 8 out of 9 leagues. But look, this is where you focus in. And so just make sure you have those alerts on because they're big, because some of them are game time decisions. So Russell Wilson's off the IR officially. Aaron Rodgers should play, but monitor that because there's chances that can happen. Hey, he doesn't play. So anything can happen. So let's just get into the games. I'll give you some quick starts and point out some injuries or kind of, maybe not to worry about certain things. So the first game, Falcons at the Cowboys. Falcons, easy. Matt Ryan, I think, is a good start. Kyle Pitts, you got to start him. Like, what are you going to do? And then I'm not going to trust anybody else except Cordell Patterson at this point. He's proving himself to be the guy, the number one target, especially with Calvin Ridley gone. Okay, Cowboys. Dak Prescott is a good start. Look, he came off an injury, had a bad game. CeeDee Lamb missed on some passes he should have caught. So I think they're back. So Dak Prescott is a start. CeeDee Lamb is a good start. Cooper should be a good start. Just again, he has these lingering injuries, which are annoying. Zeke, monitor his status because he's dealing with an injury. I don't think he practiced last Thursday. So hopefully you have Tony Pollard. I have Zeke in one league and I have Pollard just because Pollard's talented. I always kind of like to handcuff talented. Running backs who are talented. For the Cowboys, Micah Gallup might be back. So Dak Prescott should be a solid star. So if you play DFS, like FanDuel or DraftKings, a lot of people might not go to Dak Prescott, but go to Dak Prescott. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that too much. Saints at the Titans. Saints, I don't know. You can start Mark Ingram, but in Taysom Hill, if you're in a 2-quarterback league, I think Taysom Hill will get a lot more opportunity as the weeks go by because the Saints need to win. And with all these injuries, Kamara being out, for the Titans, look, Tannehill's dealing with an injury. A.J. Brown, solid start. Julio Jones should be back. But I think Tannehill's going to play. I think he should have a good game. I'm not starting anybody else from this game because focal point, I think, is going to be probably throwing the ball. Lattimore's going to be shadowing A.J. Brown, but he's a solid play. Jaguars at the Colts. Jaguars. You could start some of Jaguars this week. So James Robinson should be back. He practiced in full, I think, yesterday or Thursday. He practiced in full. You can start him. You can start probably even Marvin Jones, and I have to start him in some leagues. I'm not a fan of starting him. He's getting a lot of targets. Again, they're not going well, but Colts are susceptible to the pass. So don't be afraid if you have, like I'm in a pinch, or if you needed, somebody went off on you and nobody went off on that Thursday game with the Ravens and the Miami. What a dumb game. For fantasy, that game was the most irritating game of all. So, but I'm not going to get into that. It's in the past. It's gone. For the Jaguars, Marvin Jones might be the big play this week. He might get you that over 100 yards, possible touchdown or 2 touchdowns. So for me, he's a solid play. Maybe even DFS lineups, things like that. For the Jaguars, that's it. Like Lawrence, maybe in a 2-quarterback league, I'll start him. He's going to have to throw the ball. But anywhere else, I'm not starting him in a one QB league. Just there's better options. Should be better options. Like on the other side, Carson Wentz. JT, Jonathan Taylor is probably the number 1 running back right now. He looks great. The O-line's doing its thing. Nyheim Hines is getting his share. So with like PPR leagues, you can start Hines. Somebody started him like last week against me, and what are you going to do? Throw up your hands? You can start Nyheim Hines. Pittman Jr., Michael Pittman Jr., you start him, and Wentz is a good start. And T.Y. Hilton, if he's back, I'm not going to trust him this week. So I'm not going to go there. Browns at the Patriots. Browns, Chubb is out. So Dearness Johnson you got to start him because Cleveland runs the ball. And Peoples-Jones may be a decent start. I'm not going to trust Jarvis Landry, so I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to trust, one of the tight ends, Hooper, is going to go off. Or I'm not trusting any of the tight ends. So Baker Mayfield, same thing. 2 quarterback leagues are start. 1 quarterback league, I'm not, especially they're playing at the Patriots. Patriots defense is just always performing. For the Patriots, on the other hand, a lot of lingering injuries like Damian Harris, Stevenson. I'm not sure if they're going to play. So, if you pick the Bolden, you can start him. And then in the passing game, like Mac Jones, I'm not starting. But in the passing game, I'm not going to trust anybody in this game. You probably have better options. I'm just... It's such a disappointing thing. Like Hunter Henry, maybe you can start just based on he's probably going to get more targets with Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith is out. That's it. I'm not going to go too much into that game. Bills at the Jets. Bills, look, I know they were disappointing against the Jaguars. Last week, the entire Sunday was like backwards. It was like up was down, black was white, white was whatever. I don't know how that goes, but don't be that person who doesn't start Josh Allen, doesn't start Stephon Diggs or Cole Beasley. Zach Moss might be out, so Singletary could be a good start. Jets they're crappy against the run. So Singletary might have his best game of the year probably. Dawson Knox should be back, but I'm not going to trust him until I see what they do. Emmanuel Sanders, I don't think he practiced, but he should be playing. But like, you start your studs. This is pretty simple. For the Jets, I think Michael Carter should be a decent start and nobody else. No, just not going to go there. Bills defense is still a Bills defense. Lions at the Steelers. Well, let's start with them. I think Ben is not a start in a 1 quarterback league, but you can start him in 2 quarterback leagues. I have. He's the only quarterback left in my super flex league. But I'm still like in second place, so I just have really good wide receivers. So don't start Ben like I'm starting Ben because I have no other choice. Najee Harris dealing with the injury, but he should play. Claypool's probably going to be out. He's dealing with a severe toe injury. He might be out. Probably will be out. Deontay Johnson, solid start. And their tight end, Freiermuth. I'm going to call him, what was I calling him? Never mind. But look, he's a decent start now. Like, he's been performing. I know he's a rookie, but he's been, Ben talked about him before. That, hey, this guy, like, he's talented, and I think there's a rapport going on. I know Eric Ebron was more targeted in the beginning of the season. But Freiermuth. Oh, man. He might be one of the up-and-coming tight ends. Start him. I started him in 2 leagues last week, and it worked out great for me. And I won in both leagues because of him, so on the Monday night. So there you go. So you can definitely start him. And Najee Harris, that's it. For the Lions, TJ Hawkinson. Swift, you have to start. That's it. I'm just gonna keep moving on. All right, Buccaneers at the Washington football team. For the Buccaneers, monitor Godwin. He might be injured. He might not play. Mike Evans. Antonio Brown is out. In play, Mike Evans is a solid play. So if you have Mike Evans, be happy. For DFS, he's a good play. Tom Brady's a good play. Fournette, start Fournette. And then you could try to mess around with the two tight ends. I'm not going to go with the two tight ends. I think Scotty Miller might be back. And they have Tyler Johnson as well. Tyler Johnson's been kind of targeted a lot by Brady, and I think he's a rookie. So pay attention to that. So if you're like short on the wide receiver, you need to pick up wide receiver somewhere, go pick up Johnson from the Buccaneers, especially if Godwin doesn't play. Ooh. For the Washington, look, you can come back and Heineke and 2 quarterback leagues again, same thing. 2 quarterback leagues, super flex leagues. I think he's going to have a great game. I think he might finish top 10, top 12. McLaurin, great start. McKissick, maybe. I don't know if I could trust anybody else on this team, except I think McLaurin's just going to be targeted like he's always been targeted. That's it for the Washington football team. Panthers at the Cardinals. Cardinals, I talked about. Hopkins is out. Kyler Murray's a last-minute decision. I don't know what else you can do. I mean, with that team, I think Connors, you got to start Connor with Edmonds out. They use him a lot. Panthers are a good defense. So I think, this game is Arizona. Arizona is favored at this time, so kind of interesting. Well, the Panthers have their own issues. Christian McCaffrey should play, so you start Christian McCaffrey and you start DJ Moore. PJ Walker, I think, is going to be the quarterback. They signed Cam Newton, but he's not going to play. So, that's how that goes. So maybe that's why the reason Cardinals are favored. But I think Panthers might. This is going to be one of the games I think is going to be an upset. Now, I'm trying to predict upsets because they keep happening weekly, more and more. All right, Vikings at the Chargers. Vikings, Kirk Cousins, you start. Conklin, the tight end, you can start now. Jefferson, not a lot of targets, but you have to start Jefferson. And look, Thielen, just getting bombarded with targets. Dalvin Cook, he had sexual allegation come out. He's going to play, but that kind of sucks. If you're like, people have been trying to trade Dalvin Cook just in case he might not play the rest of the season. I don't think that's going to happen, but for the Chargers, you start Herbert, you start Keenan Allen, you start Mike Williams, you start Eckler. Cook, tight end, no, I'm not going to do it. Herbert's targeting the other tight ends. I think Palmer's there. He's been targeting. It's hard to trust that. All right, and that's it for the Chargers. The next game, Eagles at the Broncos. Broncos defense is a good start. They completely dismantled the Cowboys, which is shocking. I'm not gonna Teddy Bridgewater is a 2 quarterback league start, super flex start. Jerry Jeudy is the only guy I'm gonna be psyched about in this game. Running backs, I don't want to start you. I don't want to start Melvin Gordon, but you probably have to. Or Williams, because you might have to, but I'm not. Noah Fant should be back, but I'm not starting Noah Fant. I need to see something from the Broncos, more consistency. But Jerry Jeudy for me is the only solid start from there. For the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, you probably could start him. Just gives you that Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson had a bad game yesterday, but he still got you, 17 to 18 fantasy points, which he didn't. That's not great from the week before, but he didn't give you 2-3 points like some quarterbacks do. For the Eagles, look, I don't know what the running back situation. The only person I think I'm comfortable starting is Dallas Goedert, and that's it from the passing game. So pretty simple there. All right, Seahawks at the Packers. Seahawks, Russell Wilson's back. Look, DK Metcalf, you're gonna start it. You're gonna start Tyler Lockett. These guys are solid. Carson's back. I'm not starting any of the running backs. Don't start the running backs. Packers defense is underrated. It is underrated. They've look back at the games. They're good against the run, and sometimes they're susceptible to the pass with Alexander out, but they're still a good defense. But again, you got freaks of natures in Seattle with DK Metcalf. Aaron Rodgers plays. You start Aaron Rodgers. Top 10 quarterback start. Devonta Adams, Aaron Jones, all of them are back in play. You had to start them last week, but this week should be better. And there's probably somebody else going to come flying out. I don't know if it's MVS, Lazard, but I think Rodgers is going to have a solid game, top 5 performance finisher this week. Go Pack, go. All right, Sunday night game, Chiefs at the Raiders. Chiefs. Like the Packers with no Aaron Rodgers gave them a hard time because of the defense. But you're going to have to start Mahomes. You're going to have to start your Kelsey. You're going to have to start your Tyreek Hill. And right now, and maybe Darrell Williams, and that's it. Raiders defense is not that bad. For the Raiders, Jacobs is a good start. And then you kind of like Renfro for PPR for me. Waller, you start Renfro. And then Bryan Edwards is if you're looking for a wide receiver, this might be a good game to start. Indoor game. Chiefs are just, their defense is not that great. Just because they look good against the Packers without Aaron Rodgers doesn't mean they're great. And the last game, Rams at the 49ers. Rams, OBJ is going to play. Like if I have OBJ, I'm not going to start him just for fantasy. I'm not going to do it. If you want to do it, go ahead. But I think Cooper Kupp is good to go. Robert Woods, I think, suffers. Higbee suffers big time. Jefferson, then he's going to suffer probably out of everybody the most, and probably the running backs. But you start Henderson, Cooper Kupp. Stafford's probably going to be the biggest beneficiary of this trade. So Matthew Stafford looks like he's going to, on his way to finish top 10, top 5. And for the 49ers, man. Injuries after injuries. I know Elijah Mitchell had an injury. Kittle came back. Kittle was Kittle. So you will start Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and that's it. Elijah Mitchell plays, you start him. He's ready to go, you start him. But just monitor those injuries. I try to keep it under 20 minutes, and I'm under 20 minutes. So those are the quick sits and starts, just kind of game previews for this week. Good luck in your matchups. Until next week, hope you win and hope you're in the playoff contention. That's the goal, is to get into the playoffs. Thank you very much, and good luck, and until next time, bye.
Dude, you better not be sleeping after that podcast. That was an amazing message. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Commissioner. Also subscribe on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Any comments, questions, concerns, send them to the Instagram page, The Commissioner, your fantasy football guide.